Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope your day and your week are going very well so far. We've got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. We've got a new day, which of course means a new opportunity to go ahead and make some money. I have 7 picks, 7 player props to go ahead and share with you guys in tonight's NBA slate. But first, before we dive into today's picks, quick little recap of how we did yesterday. And overall, guys, a pretty solid performance with 7-5 yesterday on our NBA player props. 7 winners out of 12 picks, not too shabby. Plus 0.49 units. Again, we had a couple of big unit misses yesterday, so the unit win doesn't look as good as the overall record. Nonetheless, we were still profitable yesterday. We cashed yesterday, so it was a good day overall. A couple of close misses there, a couple of close wins too, of course. Any day we go ahead and make some money, I'm not going to go ahead and complain. Overall, so far this year, now through just 2 days of the NBA, we now have a 10-9 record. Still a little bit down on the unit play, but overall 10-9 winning record. And we did not have a parlay of the day yesterday over on my Instagram page, but we will have one today over there on Instagram. So make sure to go ahead and follow me at Tassos Picks over on Instagram. I do parlays of the days almost every day, as well as NFL parlays, NFL picks, college football picks, all that kind of stuff. A lot of just extra picks, extra content over there on my Instagram page. So make sure to go ahead and check that out. Guys, 7 player props to go ahead and share in today's slate. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in. All right, guys, jumping right into the outlier screen, guys. Our first pick in today's slate, we're targeting the Celtics-Wizards game, 7 p.m. tip-off. We're going Jordan Poole of the Washington Wizards under 6.5 assists. To be totally honest, I didn't want to really touch too much in this game. These games within the Celtics and the Wizards last year were a lot of blowouts. When there's blowouts, it's way too unpredictable when it comes to betting player props. This is one player prop, though, I do like overall. Under 6.5 assists for Jordan Poole. Just look at the head-to-head data here for Poole last year versus the Boston Celtics, a 100% hit rate. All 3 meetings with the Celtics last year, he cashed the under, averaging just 3.67 assists per game last year versus Boston. So pretty good numbers, pretty consistent low hits there against the Celtics. And overall, Jordan Poole actually cashed this under an 82% hit rate last year. 64 out of 78 games last year, he managed to cash the under, averaging 4.4 assists per game, which is basically on par with what he's been averaging for assist numbers over the last couple seasons. So really good data here. The reason why this line is a little elevated is because Jordan Poole is projected to be Washington's primary point guard this year. Last year, of course, they had Tyus Jones, so he wasn't playing point guard all the time. He is now going to be the primary point guard in Washington. So I think the sportsbooks are expecting those assist numbers to go up, but I don't think they are. I think Jordan Poole in his career, 3.6 assists per game average over the course of his career, averaging in the last 3 years between Golden State and Washington in that 4.5 assist range. And even with the switch to point guard, I just don't see Jordan Poole getting a ton of assists here. Again, he cashed an 82% hit rate last year. He logged quite a few minutes at the point guard spot last year as well. Again, he had Tyus Jones to split reps with, but this year, he's kind of the only guy. Data is pretty good. Boston last year was top 5 in the NBA in assists allowed per game versus point guards in particular, top 10. So really good defensive matchup there versus Boston. The overall number looks great. Pretty solid prop here for Jordan Poole. All right, guys, next up, this game is going to be a fun one for sure. We have the Spurs matching up with the Dallas Mavericks, 7:30 p.m. tip-off. Our first play from this game, we're going Victor Wembanyama, the alien, over 10.5 rebounds. Early season, guys, it's always good to be cautious. You saw yesterday's plays, a lot of the unders hit, right? We don't want to go too crazy with some of these points, rebounds. We're going to go play a little cautious here. Specifically in terms of points, those combo props, the points, rebounds, assists, I think Wemby's going to get a lot of triple-doubles this year. He's going to hit a lot of those throughout the season. Not early in the season, throughout the season. I think in this game, it's wise to maybe avoid some of the points and assist props for Wemby. There are a lot of high lines. I think his points, rebounds, assist line is like over 41.5. Again, I think that's a line he'll cash throughout the season a good chunk of the time. But in this one, I'm just going to play it safe and take his rebounds here over 10.5 rebounds. It's a little juiced. Minus 140 on DraftKings, minus 142 on FanDuel. A little juiced, but for good reason. Wemby hit this at a 51% hit rate last year. Overall, 36 out of 71 games he cashed the over, averaging 10.63 rebounds per game last year in San Antonio. And the head-to-head data, not fantastic. See just 1 of 3 meetings with Dallas last year. He managed to cash the over. He had 11 rebounds in that last matchup back in March of last year, averaging 8.33 rebounds per game versus the Mavericks. Do keep in mind, though, those first two matchups, not a lot of minutes played, just 23 minutes in that first game. That was early in the season, just 23 minutes played, and then 27 minutes the next time. The one time he cashed, he played 32 minutes. I went ahead and put a filter here to show what it looks like when Wemby plays between 28 and 35 minutes per game last year. So this is in that range, right? When he plays at least 28 minutes, but no more than 35. And then it's the range of minutes he'll probably play in this season opener, barring any foul trouble or injuries, of course. That's kind of the case with every player prop. 62% hit rate, though, in this data range between 28 and 35 minutes played per game. 23 out of 37 games last year, he cashed the over. 62% hit rate, averaging 11.65 rebounds per game. Only one of those Dallas games fell into this data range, and of course, it's the one where he hit the over with 11 rebounds there. Look, it's juice for a reason. I think Wemby's, and especially early year, this is a Dallas team that's going to be throwing up a lot of shots between Kyrie and Luka and Klay. They're going to be throwing up a lot of shots early years, still trying to get your rhythm going here. I think you're going to see a lot of missed shots, a lot of rebound chances, a lot of rebound opportunities in this one. Overall, last year, Dallas was a bottom 5 team in rebounds allowed. They were not a very good rebounding team overall, giving up 45 rebounds per game to opposing teams. So a pretty solid spot here for Wemby. And piggybacking off of that, guys, I'm going with Chris Paul here, over 7.5 assists for San Antonio. Now, there's not really a lot of data I can go off of here, guys, because the data last year for Chris Paul in Golden State was not very good. To be fair, though, his role is totally different from what he's going to have here in San Antonio. In San Antonio, he is the true primary point guard, a traditional floor general. He's going to run the offense, which is what San Antonio, I think, desperately needed last year. CP3 is a very good fit here with the Spurs. I think he's going to tally a lot of assist numbers here in these games. That pick and roll he's going to run with Wemby, any kind of offense he generates, throwing lobs up to Wembanyama, is going to be ridiculous. I mean, just in preseason play alone, he averaged about 5.3 assists per game just in the preseason. Again, I expect regular season now, more minutes. Obviously, they're going to take a lot more seriously. He's already averaging 5.3 assists per game in 3 preseason games. I expect those numbers to go even higher as we go into the regular season. A little bit of a risk, absolutely, here, but I think Chris Paul to get 8 assists in this one is a pretty good bet. And overall, Dallas last year, they were bottom 10 in assists allowed, 22nd in the NBA, giving up 27.5 assists per game to opposing teams. And although the head-to-head data is not great, he did actually cash the over one time. The last time they played the Mavericks back in April of last year, he had 8 assists. Again, that was in Golden State. Very different role, very different team. He averaged 5.75 assists per game last year versus Dallas. Bigger role, more touches, more opportunity. I think it's a pretty good bet here to go ahead and cash this over for CP3. Real quick, guys, before we carry on with the rest of today's play, a quick little word from today's sponsor, FanDuel. That's right, guys. Guy Boston Sports and FanDuel Sportsbooks are officially partnering to bring you a very special offer. It's incredibly simple. As a new customer, use the link down below in the description, bet $5, and if that bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets guaranteed. You heard that right. No joshing there, guys. As a new customer, when you use the link down below and bet $5, if the prop wins, or the bet, whatever you go ahead and put on it, if it wins, you're going to get $300 in bonus bets. And it doesn't stop there, guys. As well as that, which is already a great offer on its own, they're also giving new customers 3 months of NBA League Pass on them. This is an incredible offer, guys, and it will not last long. So go ahead and take advantage of it while you still can. One more time, I'll repeat it one more for the people in the back there. As a new customer, use the link down below in the description and bet $5. If that bet wins, you're going to get $300 in bonus bets and 3 months of League Pass on FanDuel. It's a great offer, guys. Free money and free stuff. You really can't beat it just for betting $5 a new customer. You're going to bet it anyways, let's be honest. If you're watching this video, you're going to go ahead and bet it anyways. Might as well go ahead and win some extra money and some extra free stuff on it. Thank you, FanDuel, for partnering with us for today's video. Let's get back to the picks. All right, guys, next up, we got the Thunder Nuggets game. 10 p.m. tip-off now, going on to the later slate for tonight. We got Chet Holmgren of the Oklahoma City Thunder over 17.5 points plus assists. Another one of these plays, it's a little bit juiced, I'll be honest, although if you get it on BetMGM, Bet365, or Caesars, a little bit better odds there. DraftKings is minus 150 if you go ahead and use DraftKings. But overall, really solid data, especially in the head-to-head department. You see all 4 meetings with the Denver Nuggets last year. Chet Holmgren did cash the over, averaging 21.25 points plus assists per game last season against Denver. Now, obviously, this is going to be majority covered by the points. Doesn't really get a ton of assists. You see 3 assists there, 3 there, 1 there, none there. It's mostly points, but again, you throw the assist in there just to give you that little extra oomph you might need to go ahead and cash the bet. But again, overall, he passed it every single game with flying colors. And overall last year, pretty solid numbers. A 59% hit rate overall last year, 54 out of 92 games, including the postseason. He cashed the over, averaging 18.85 points plus assists per game last season. Despite Jokic being one of the best players in the NBA, defensively versus centers, Denver struggled last year. 23rd in points allowed, giving up 19.4 points per game to opposing centers, and they were 13th in assists allowed, giving up 3.5 assists per game to opposing centers. So taking all that into account, guys, this is a really solid prop. The head-to-head data is fantastic, the overall data is fantastic, and the matchup looks to be pretty solid. I like the spot here for Chet Holmgren. Again, if you get it on BetMGM, minus 120, pretty good value there. Next up, guys, we got Jamal Murray here under 30.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Now, unlike the Chet prop, the overall data is actually terrible on this one. Jamal Murray last year had just a 39% hit rate on this under. 28 out of 71 games last year, including postseason. He cashed the under, averaging 31.58 points plus rebounds plus assists per game last year for the Nuggets. But the head-to-head data is really where it counts here. All 4 meetings with the Oklahoma City Thunder last year, he cashed it, and he cashed it pretty hard. What do I mean by cashing hard? I mean that he hit the line pretty low. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's 30.5. You see here 22, 23, 23. The best performance was their first game last year. He had 19 points, 2 rebounds, and 8 assists, just 29. Just barely missed it, but still a miss nonetheless. Jamal Murray averages 24.25 points plus rebounds plus assists last year versus the Thunder. And it might have something to do with the fact that OKC versus point guards, pretty good defensive team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the reasons why I love him so much. Not only is he great on the offensive end, but the dude plays defense as well, plays both ways. Top 10 in points allowed to point guards, top 10 in assists allowed. They are a little bit low in the rebounding category, but again, if you look at these matchups, 3 rebounds, 2 rebounds, 2 rebounds. So it's not like Jamal Murray is grabbing a lot of boards here. Like I said, the overall data may not be fantastic, but the head-to-head data is solid. And you add that to the fact that a lot of these big star players betting their unders early in the season might be the way to go. You look at yesterday, again, a lot of the bets we cashed yesterday were these under plays, right? These under points, rebounds, plus assists, under points and assists. These star players early in the year got to get their rhythm going. And Jamal Murray here, early in the season, might be a good spot to go ahead and fade him and grab this under. Again, really bad matchup for him as well. This is a tough Thunder team. They kind of had his number last year. If you don't believe me, look at last year. Look at the beginning of the season for Jamal Murray. He cashed the under in each of his first 3 games. Look at that. There's a hit. A lot of under hits. A lot in the first 10 games, he only cashed the over twice. So early in the year last year, you saw him struggle a little bit. Numbers were a little lower. You could see a very similar thing here. So go ahead and take the under here with this prop. All right, guys, 2 props left. We're now looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves Sacramento Kings game, 10 p.m. tip-off. We're going Rudy Gobert here over 12.5 rebounds. Now, the other night we had Rudy Gobert over 11.5 rebounds. That cashed pretty easily. And the data looks pretty good on this one as well. Rudy Gobert last year, overall, 51% hit rate, 46 out of 91 games. He cashed the over, averaging 12.41 rebounds per game last year. So far, 2024, again, 100% hit rate. He had 14 rebounds in that Game 1 loss to the Lakers. And look at the head-to-head numbers, pretty solid. He had at least 11 rebounds in all 3 matchups with Sacramento last year. Only the first time they played back in November, he failed to cash the over. But in the other 2 matchups, he cashed the over pretty well. 17 rebounds there, 16 rebounds there, an average of 14.67 rebounds per game against Sacramento last year. And it makes sense. Overall, last year, the Kings were not a great rebounding team. Well, I guess overall they were. But versus centers in particular, they were bottom 10 in terms of rebounds allowed. 12.4 rebounds allowed per game to opposing centers. Again, Gobert already looking good so far this year, 14 rebounds in that first game. This is Sacramento's first game of the year. You could see a lot of missed shots, a lot of great rebound opportunities for Gobert. Give me the over here for Gobert rebounds. And finishing up here, guys, our 7th and final play. We got a plus money play, a little risky here, but we like to go ahead and take chances here on the show. We're going De'Aaron Fox over 5.5 assists. It's plus money, plus 130 on Bet365. It's plus money literally on every sports book, no matter where you go ahead and take it. It's plus money, and overall, the data is not terrible. He cashed it both times he faced off with Minnesota last year. He had 12 assists in their first meeting last year back in November, 6 assists in the latter meeting. So an overall average of 9 assists per game against the Minnesota Timberwolves last year. And overall in 2023, a 50% hit rate, 38 out of 76 games last year. He did cash the over, averaging 5.64 assists per game last season. Now you go ahead and add DeMar DeRozan into the mix. How will that affect things? I think it will just create more assist opportunities for De'Aaron Fox, take some of the scoring pressure off him a little bit, while at the same time giving him someone else to go ahead and dish off passes to. And Minnesota defensively overall, solid team in terms of assists allowed, but versus point guards in particular, they're about middle of the road, 14th in the NBA. They give up 8.4 assists per game last year to opposing point guards. So like I said, guys, overall the data is pretty solid for the most part, and it's a plus money play too. Not bad if you want to go ahead and throw a half a unit or whatnot on here. Not a bad little spot to take a chance on. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, guys, Woo, was able to cut the camera before I had to sneeze. One more time, guys, please make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Like I said, guys, help this channel grow. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Make sure to tune in for tomorrow's video. We have our first Freaky Friday edition of the show for the 2024 NBA season. You know what Freaky Friday is if you didn't watch the videos last year. Every Friday throughout the NBA season, I do a little big game hunting parlay. Usually it's 5 legs or more. We try to go plus 500 odds or higher. We had a couple really big ones last year, a couple plus 1,000 odds or higher parlays last year. The name of the game is going after these big, really hard to hit parlays. But again, when it cashes, it makes you feel good. We do it once a week here on the show. People got a real kick out of it last year, so we're bringing it back again this year. So make sure to tune in for tomorrow's Freaky Friday NBA player prop video. But until then, guys, hope you're all winners. Enjoy your Thursday. Enjoy Thursday night NBA basketball. We'll see you back here tomorrow.